Welcome back to another recap and review of AEW Dynamite. The show begins with MJF and the hometown boy Daniel Garcia, who does something uncommon for the roster, which is saying nice things about MJF. He compliments MJF on his youngest and longest reigning AEW championship run, though Daniel Garcia failed to beat MJF on said run. But since then, he's been getting stronger, faster, harder, which MJF supports. He hypes up Garcia's grind, saying no one is as talented as he is, but he knows someone that's getting close. He then makes a huge offer, challenging Garcia to a match at All In. Before Garcia replies, Will Ospreay interrupts and tops MJF's offer by giving Garcia a double championship match next week, already assuming he's going to win the AEW World Championship this Sunday against Swerve Strickland. This totally upstages MJF's offer, which he did not love and kind of just walks away after. So Daniel Garcia got a little spoiled this segment, but the guy has crazy potential. When thinking about the future of AEW, it'd be wild to not have him as a top 5 star. Plus, the one-upping from MJF and Will Ospreay could be leading to one of the best feuds in AEW history. I'm giving this a very strong A tier. Next, we had a trios match between the Blackpool Combat Club and Los Shingo. Come on, I'm supposed to be a professional and a Mexican. LIJ is apparently a big faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Here we got Titan, who is pretty fun to watch, Japanese Seth Rollins, and Shingo Takagi, who is Bryan Danielson's opponent at Forbidden Door in the first round of the Owen Hart Cup. The match was really good, but left me unsatisfied when Moxley got fed up and straight up hit Rollins with a chair, causing a disqualification. After the match, Tetsuya Naito, who will challenge Jon Moxley for the IWGP Championship at Forbidden Door, makes an appearance, and the two brawl out of the arena. The segment ends with Danielson having a face-off with Shingo for attacking Yuta for no reason, making things personal. I didn't like this. It was not bad. Probably amazing, but I don't know these guys. And for me personally, that's kind of important. But for AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling fans, this was probably S tier. But for me, it's getting like a C. I'm sorry. Forbidden Door season just isn't my jam. Holy! Now this is my jam. Jay White versus Rey Fenix in the first round of the Owen Hart Cup. There's no cooler group in wrestling than the Bang Bang Gang. Too bad everyone got ejected before the match even started, which was a banger. Jay shut down every big move Ray tried to do in the first half, but things got tough for him when they started to connect. However, Jay was able to regain control by spiking Fenix with a nasty DDT, and it was just counter after counter until Jay hit the Blade Runner for the 1-2-3, advancing him to the second round. After the match, the Patriarch came out to mess with the Bang Bang Gang, continuing to build this feud between two heel factions. A bit odd, but I'm rocking with it. I say keep pushing Switchblade as a singles competitor. He's one of my favorites in the business, and he better beat whoever that wild card is. Man. And I said I was rocking with it, but I will lose it if Christian costs him that match. Whole segment gets an A tier. After that, the Acclaimed came out and got me all excited. Last week, they beat the, well, as Max Caster calls them, the Cucks in an eliminator match, so they'll be getting a shot at the tag titles very soon. However, before they're able to celebrate with the crowd, the Elite interrupt and challenge them and Billy Gunn to a trios match at Forbidden Door. Billy, although confident he could beat up the entire Elite by himself, has a very surprise replacement, the ace of New Japan Pro, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I actually know this guy. I saw him wrestle in person on Collision the day before Double or Nothing, so I'm super excited for that. But as much as I love the Acclaimed, everyone does. I need the Elite to hold on to those titles a little bit longer, so that when Hangman comes back, they're completely stacked. B tier. Then we got a trios match with Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, and Mariah May going up against the Outcasts. I want Mina in every way, but especially as AEW Women's World Champion. I'm having fun every time she's on screen, something I can't say about Toni Storm. She's not even having fun. Alright, I'm exaggerating and being a little harsh. I like Toni Storm, but I'm just ready for a new champion. And I also like how Mariah's trying to keep her friendship with the both of them, running backstage after Toni's entrance so that she can come out with Mina, and being unable to choose who to tag during the match. Good stuff. However, things took a dark turn after they won. Toni got a little too intimate with Mariah for Mina's liking, so she tried to hit her with a champagne bottle, but Toni ducks under it, and it crashes right into Mariah's head, turning up their hatred to 100. This has been amazing build-up for their match at Forbidden Door, and will probably be the peak of Toni Storm's entire reign, and hopefully the end of it. Next, the Learning Tree Chris Jericho arrived, but sadly, Brian Keith is injured, so they're down a man when they eventually face Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook. Fortunately, Jericho received a video from Suzuki to be their new replacement. Unfortunately, Jericho hasn't actually watched the video, which turns out to be Suzuki challenging Jericho for the FTW Championship at Forbidden Door. Samoa Joe and his boys come out to make fun of Jericho, who lets his character slip for a second, slaps Joe, and they all have a huge brawl. I don't think the learning tree is terrible. Jericho plays a unique heel, and it's easy to root for Samoa Joe and his boys to beat the daylights out of him. Plus, I'm curious to see who replaces Brian Keith in that eventual match. It's like between C and B tier. It's like, a really good C tier, okay? Really good. After that, we had Kyle O'Reilly versus Zack Sabre Jr. Firstly, I am so happy for Orange Cassidy. He's been real down since losing his best friends. So it's great to see him with the new group, the conglomeration with Mark Briscoe and Kyle O'Reilly, especially with O'Reilly trying to replicate Mark Briscoe's ramblings. Anyways, back to the match, which was amazing. From start to finish, it was back and forth with different holds and counters. Kyle O'Reilly is so underrated. He adapts to any style, whether it's striking with Malachi Black, moving crazy fast with Will Ospreay, or here, showing his technical skills with Zack Sabre Jr. It's too bad he lost all those matches, but still, no matter what, he puts out a banger. But after the match, things got a little weird. Zack's boys and Ishii came out for a face-off. Then the Undisputed Kingdom and Gabe Kidd were kind of just like watching, I don't know, for the match, and whatever that was, give it an A tier. Finally, it was time for the main event. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland versus the Gates of Agony. Ospreay was great as always, and surprised me with a monkey flip that sent whoever this guy's name flying, but got a massive jackhammer from the top rope in return. But despite an accidental kick from Ospreay hitting Swerve, they managed a flashy finish to an amazing match. However, Will Ospreay is an idiot. Swerve warned him 2 weeks ago not to grab his world championship again. And not only does Ospreay take it, but he turns his back on the champion, letting Swerve hit him with one of the nastiest house calls I've ever seen. S tier. So although they teamed tonight, come Sunday, it's nothing but hate. I can't wait for the main event of Forbidden Door. I've been on the fence for a while on who I think is going to win, but I'm starting to think this is the moment where Will Ospreay takes his first loss. Anyways, that was my recap and review of AEW Dynamite. Subscribe so you don't miss my videos on this show, Raw, and SmackDown. And as always, thanks for watching, cool dudes.